There comes a moment in life when you realize that not every battle deserves your energy, not every opinion deserves your response, and not every person deserves access to your peace. The greatest transformation doesn't begin when the world changes. It begins when you stop chasing distractions and start mastering yourself. Many people spend years trying to prove their worth, seeking approval, explaining their decisions, and reacting to every challenge life throws at them. Yet the strongest individuals move differently. They speak less, observe more, and invest their energy where it creates lasting growth. Silence is not weakness. It is control. Focusing on yourself is not selfishness. It is responsibility. The moment you stop competing with others and begin competing with the person you were yesterday, life starts aligning in ways you never expected. Today's message is about discovering the hidden power of self-focus, emotional discipline, and quiet confidence. These timeless principles can reshape your mindset, strengthen your character, and bring peace that no external success can ever provide. Many people spend their lives waiting for someone else to tell them they are enough. They look for approval in compliments, social media likes, recognition at work, or acceptance from family and friends. While appreciation feels good, making it the foundation of your confidence is dangerous, because it places your happiness in someone else's hands. The opinions of others are constantly changing, and if your self-worth depends on those opinions, your peace will rise and fall with them. True confidence begins the moment you realize that your value is not determined by how many people applaud you. You do not become more worthy because someone praises you, and you do not become less valuable because someone criticizes you. Your worth exists before anyone notices it. The strongest individuals understand this truth, and that is why they move through life with quiet certainty instead of constant doubt. When you stop seeking validation, something remarkable happens. You become free to make decisions based on your principles instead of other people's expectations. You no longer waste energy trying to impress those who were never meant to understand your journey. Instead, you focus on becoming a person you can respect every time you look in the mirror. There will always be people who misunderstand your intentions, question your choices, or underestimate your potential. Trying to convince everyone is an endless battle that steals time from your own growth. Rather than explaining yourself over and over, allow your actions, consistency, and character to reveal who you truly are. Time has a way of exposing truth without the need for endless words. Every challenge you overcome without applause kan data the tensional werkskom den main. Every goal you achieve without announcing it teaches you that fulfillment comes from Kiev. Progress, not attention. The more you trust your own judgment, the less dependent you become on external approval. This quiet confidence cannot be taken away because it is built from experience, discipline, and self-respect rather than temporary praise. Remember that the most important voice you will ever hear is the one inside your own mind. If that voice constantly seeks permission to believe in itself, no amount of outside encouragement will ever be enough. But if you learn to encourage yourself, to recognize your own progress, and to celebrate your own growth, you develop a confidence that remains steady through success and failure alike. Your journey is unique, and it does not require everyone's approval to be meaningful. Walk your path with courage, trust your decisions, continue improving each day, and let your life reflect the strength that comes from knowing your worth. The moment you stop asking the world for permission to believe in yourself is the moment you begin living with true freedom. Silence is often misunderstood. Many people assume that the loudest voice is the strongest, that the quickest response is the smartest, or that speaking first means being in control. In reality, true strength is often quiet. A calm mind does not feel the need to react to every opinion, defend every criticism, or win every argument. Silence is not a sign that you have nothing to say. It is a sign that you have learned the value of choosing the right moment to speak. When you remain silent, you begin to notice things that others overlook. Instead of preparing your next response while someone else is talking, you truly listen. You observe people's actions, their intentions, and their character. Over time, you discover that actions reveal far more than words ever could. This ability to observe without immediately reacting gives you wisdom that emotional reactions can never provide. Silence also protects your energy. Every unnecessary argument, every attempt to prove yourself, and every emotional confrontation drains your focus. Imagine how much time and mental strength you would regain if you stopped responding to every negative comment or every invitation into conflict. That energy can instead be invested in learning, improving, creating, and building the life you truly want. There will always be people who misunderstand your quietness. Some may mistake it for weakness, while others may assume you have nothing to contribute. Let them think what they will. You do not need to correct every assumption or defend your character at every opportunity. Those who truly understand wisdom recognize that calm confidence rarely seeks attention. It simply continues moving forward without unnecessary noise. Speaking only when your words add value creates a different kind of presence. People begin to pay closer attention because they know you are not speaking just to fill silence. Your words carry more weight because they are guided by thought rather than impulse. This habit builds trust, respect, and emotional discipline over time. Silence also gives you space to understand yourself. In a world filled with constant conversations, notifications, and distractions, moments of quiet allow you to reflect on your goals, your emotions, and your direction. Instead of being influenced by every outside opinion, you become more connected to your own values and purpose. That inner clarity helps you make better decisions and remain steady when life becomes uncertain. Remember, not every challenge deserves a response, and not every criticism deserves your attention. Sometimes, the strongest statement you can make is to remain calm, continue your work, and let your actions speak for you. Quiet determination has a power that loud words can never match. When you master silence, you gain control over your emotions, protect your peace, and discover a strength that no one can take away. One of the greatest obstacles to personal growth is comparison. It begins quietly, often without you even noticing. You look at someone else's success, lifestyle, achievements, or opportunities and start measuring your own life against theirs. In an instant, your focus shifts away from your own journey and towards someone else's path. Instead of appreciating how far you have come, you become frustrated by how far you think you have left to go. This habit steals not only your confidence, but also the motivation needed to continue growing. The truth is that no two lives are the same. Every person has different experiences, challenges, strengths, and timing. Comparing your beginning to someone else's, years of hard work, creates an unfair standard that leaves you feeling inadequate. What you see on the surface is only a small part of their story. You rarely witness the sacrifices, failures, sleepless nights, and setbacks that shape their success. When you remember this, comparison loses much of its power. Real progress begins when you stop asking, "How am I doing?" compared to others, and start asking, "Am I improving?" compared to who I was yesterday. This simple shift transforms your mindset. Growth becomes personal instead of competitive. Every small improvement becomes meaningful because it represents another step forward in your own journey. You no longer need to outrun everyone else. You only need to keep moving forward consistently. Direct your energy toward habits that strengthen your character each day. Read a few pages of a good book, learn a new skill, exercise your body, practice gratitude, or spend time reflecting on your goals. These small, consistent actions may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they create remarkable change. Success is rarely built through dramatic moments. It is built through ordinary days filled with disciplined choices. Focusing on your own growth also allows you to celebrate the achievements of others without feeling threatened by them. Instead of seeing another person's success as proof that you are falling behind, you begin to see it as evidence of what is possible through dedication and perseverance. Their accomplishments become a source of inspiration rather than insecurity. When your attention remains fixed on becoming a stronger, wiser, and more disciplined version of yourself, distractions lose their influence. You stop wasting precious time trying to keep up with people who are living different lives with different purposes. Your confidence grows because it is rooted in steady progress rather than temporary comparisons. In the end, the only competition that truly matters is with the person you were yesterday. Every day you choose growth over comparison. You move one step closer to becoming the person you are capable of being. And that quiet commitment will always lead you farther than envy ever could. Peace is one of the most valuable things you can possess, yet it is often the first thing people sacrifice. Many allow unnecessary arguments, toxic relationships, constant negativity, and endless distractions to invade their minds until stress becomes a normal part of life. They spend so much time trying to fix everyone else, defend every opinion, or please every person, that they forget to protect the one thing that allows them to think clearly and live fully their inner peace. Protecting your peace does not mean avoiding responsibility or isolating yourself from the world. It means becoming wise enough to recognize what deserves your attention and what does not. Every conversation, every commitment to levery, kamaspas, tains. If you constantly give your energy to people who bring chaos into your life, you leave very little for your own growth, dreams, and well-being. One of the most powerful ways to protect your peace is by setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls built to keep people out. They are limits that protect what matters most. Learning to say no without guilt is a skill that strengthens your character. You cannot be available for everyone all the time without eventually exhausting yourself. Respecting your own time and emotional well-being teaches others to respect them as well. Not every disagreement deserves your participation. Some people are more interested in winning arguments. Some people are more interested in winning arguments than finding understanding. Engaging in every conflict only drains your emotional strength and distracts you from your arcing purpose. There is wisdom in recognizing when silence is more powerful than another explanation. Walking away from unnecessary drama is not surrender. It is choosing your peace over your prien. The environment you surround yourself with also shapes your state of mind. Spend time with people who encourage your growth inspire you to become better, and support your goals. Distance yourself from constant negativity, gossip, and relationships that leave you feeling emotionally drained. The people around you should help you become calmer, stronger, and more focused, not more anxious and discouraged. Protecting your peace also requires creating moments of stillness in your daily life. Take time to reflect, read, exercise, meditate, pray, or simply sit in silence without distractions. These quiet moments allow your mind to recover from the noise of the outside world and reconnect with what truly matters. A peaceful mind makes wiser decisions, responds with greater patience, and remains steady even during difficult times. Remember that peace is not something you find by chance. It is something you choose through your daily actions. Every boundary you set, every unnecessary conflict you avoid, and every positive habit you build strengthens that choice. When you protect your peace with intention, you create a life where clarity replaces confusion, purpose replaces distraction, and quiet confidence becomes your greatest source of strength. Your mind is the foundation of everything you do. Every decision you make, every habit you build, and every goal you pursue begins with a single thought. If your mind is constantly controlled by fear, doubt, anger, or anxiety, even the greatest opportunities can feel impossible. But when you learn to master your mind, instead of being ruled by it, you develop a strength that remains steady no matter what life places in your path. Many people spend their lives trying to control everything around them. They want other people to behave a certain way, circumstances to unfold exactly as planned, and the future to be completely predictable. The problem is that much of life will always remain beyond your control. Unexpected challenges will arise, people will disappoint you, and plans will sometimes fall apart. The more tightly you try to control these things, the more frustrated and exhausted you become. Real power comes from shifting your attention inward. Instead of asking, "How can I control everything around me?" begin asking, "How can I control my response?" This simple change in perspective transforms the way you face difficulties. While you cannot always choose what happens to you, you can always choose the attitude you bring to the situation. That choice becomes the source of your resilience. Emotional discipline is one of the greatest forms of self-mastery. It does not mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they do not exist. It means recognizing your feelings without allowing them to dictate your actions. Anger may urge you to react impulsively, fear may tempt you to give up, and frustration may convince you that your efforts are pointless. Yet a disciplined mind pauses, reflects, and responds with wisdom instead of impulse. Patience is another essential part of mastering your mind. We often expect immediate results, quick success, and instant change. But meaningful growth rarely happens overnight. Every worthwhile achievement requires consistent effort, repeated practice, and the willingness to continue even when progress feels slow. A patient mind understands that today's discipline becomes tomorrow's strength. Instead of becoming discouraged by temporary setbacks, it views them as lessons that build character. The thoughts you repeat every day gradually shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you are incapable, unlucky, or destined to fail, your actions will begin to reflect those beliefs. On the other hand, when you choose thoughts rooted in determination, gratitude, and possibility, your mindset becomes a powerful force that supports your growth. This is why it is so important to guard your inner dialogue. Speak to yourself with honesty, but also with encouragement and purpose. Mastering your mind is not a one-time achievement. It is a lifelong practice. Each day offers new opportunities to choose calm over panic, discipline over distraction, and wisdom over impulse. With every conscious decision, your mind becomes stronger, clearer, and more resilient. As your inner world grows more balanced, your outer world begins to reflect that stability. The greatest victory you will ever achieve is not over other people or difficult circumstances. It is over the doubts, fears, and limitations within yourself. When your mind becomes your greatest ally instead of your greatest obstacle, everything else becomes easier to face. One of the strongest habits you can develop is learning to let your results speak louder than your words. In a world where people often announce every plan, every ambition, and every small achievement, there is quiet strength in working without seeking constant attention. Success does not become more meaningful because it is advertised. In fact, some of the greatest accomplishments are built in silence, long before anyone else notices them. It is easy to talk about goals. It takes far more discipline to wake up every day and do the work required to achieve them. Words can create excitement in the moment, but only consistent action creates lasting change. Many dreams remain unfulfilled because people become satisfied with talking about what they intend to do instead of committing themselves to the daily habits that bring those dreams to life. The difference between wishing and achieving is found in consistent effort, not confident speeches. Working quietly also protects your focus. Every time you announce a new goal, you invite opinions, expectations, and distractions into your journey. Some people will encourage you, while others may doubt your ability or question your decisions. If you become too attached to their reactions, your attention shifts away from the work itself. By keeping your plans private and concentrating on steady progress, you preserve your energy for what truly matters, taking the next step forward. There is also a special confidence that grows when you no longer feel the need to prove yourself. Instead of chasing recognition, you begin chasing excellence. Instead of asking whether people notice your efforts, you ask whether you gave your best today. This shift changes everything. Your motivation becomes internal rather than external, and your sense of accomplishment comes from knowing you stayed committed even when no one was watching. When your actions consistently match your values, people naturally begin to notice. They see your discipline, your reliability, and your growth without you needing to announce them. Respect earned through quiet consistency is far more lasting than attention gained through loud promises. Actions have a credibility that words alone can never achieve because they provide undeniable evidence of your character. Remember that every meaningful achievement is built one day at a time. Small choices repeated with discipline eventually produce extraordinary results. The early mornings, the hours of learning, the moments of perseverance, and the quiet sacrifices all become part of a success story that speaks for itself. You do not need to convince the world of your potential. You only need to continue doing the work with patience and determination. When you allow your results to speak louder than your words, you free yourself from the pressure of seeking approval. Your focus becomes clearer, your discipline grows stronger, and your confidence becomes genuine because it is rooted in experience rather than appearance. In the end, people may forget what you promised, but they will always remember what you accomplished. Let your life become the proof of your dedication, and allow your actions to tell the story that words never could.